Hey, shalom, 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 everyone. My name is Zachariah Yahouda. Coming back with another lesson. I'm getting ready to head out to the highways and byways and do my little walk, daily walk, and bring out some scriptures. I might even set up my camera. Spirit jump on me. I might even go and set the camera up and prophesy, But I want to wait till tomorrow and go to the lake, or because I got an eye doctor appointment today. I need to get my glasses. I'm wearing some cheaters. So, yeah, y'all bear with me here. We're gonna bring it out. That look even right there. We're gonna bring it out, and I hope y'all be edified. I want y'all to listen to this video. I'm gonna do a lesson on this video. It's gonna be about 2 hours long, 2.5 hours long. I might even just keep it at 1.5 hours and do two parts. But anyway, before we start, I don't want to be rambling too much. Let's do the fair use copyright thing. Excuse me. Man, my back is killing me, man. I got all these fucking ailments, man. All right, okay. Man, who are these people calling me from Twin Cities, man? What the fuck? Fair use of the copyright statute of 1976. Okay, the copyright of 1976 codifies Title 17 of the United States Code. It is the foundational statute governs U.S. copyright law. It is established. It's established federal protection for original works of authorship fixed in a tangible medium. Introduces the legal doctrine of fair use. So it's fair use, and redefine the names. Redefine the term of limited copyright ownership. This is not what I wanted. So fair use, the act formally codified the doctrine of fair use 17 U.S. Code 107. It allows limited use of copyright materials without permission for purposes such as criticism, which I'm going to be doing, news reporting, which I'm going to be doing in teaching, and research and scholarship. So fair use. I'm not monetized. There go the statute right there. So fair use. All right. So I'm not. So I got this video. I want y'all to check it out, and I'm gonna let them play. We're gonna let them play. It's about 18 minutes long, and then I'm gonna come on with the scriptures and probably do a synopsis on it. So I hope y'all be edified. Let's go and listen to it. Let me see here. Go try to get a couple miles in. Walk a couple miles. All right. Let me see here.
Their enemies are black and brown. It starts in the colonies of what would become the United States. Let's remember, during the colonial period, mid-1600s, there was no such thing as white people.
Yeah, sure one.
I know some people who are now called white find that shocking.
That's social construct.
Right? Because they think whiteness is real.
Hey, that white and black thing is a social construct that was created by the elites in Bacon's Rebellion in 1681, I think.
But whiteness was created. Europeans didn't call themselves white. We didn't call ourselves white. We weren't all members of one big happy family. Are you kidding? Have you studied the history of Europe? The history of Europe was about killing each other. That's what we did in Europe. We just killed each other. Before we figured out there were other people to kill, we just killed each other. Right? I mean, that was the history of Europe. The English hated the Irish, right? Northern Italians didn't even think that Southern Italians were Italians. The Germans hated everybody, and everybody hated their ass right back, right? There was no team called white, no race called white, but all of a sudden, in the middle of the 1600s, there was. Why? Why was it suddenly necessary to create this thing called the white race? Well, because rich people can count, that's why. And so rich folks looked around, the ones that owned all the land, you know, in the colonies, the colonial elite looked around and they realized something, that they were heavily outnumbered by African enslaved folks, by European indentured servants who were just one level above a slave, or other Europeans who weren't technically indentured servants, but they were still peasants, didn't have any money, didn't have any land, and they could do the math. They added it up and they were like, damn, we got to figure out a way to split these folks apart from one another or they're going to rise up and take our stuff. Right? Because after a while, these black folks who were enslaved Africans and these quote-unquote white folks who were poor Europeans are going to figure out they're all getting played by these rich people. Right? So ultimately, the rich figure out they got to come up with some way to get somebody in that group on their team. The easiest thing is to get the poor Europeans. Right? Because at least they look like you. They sort of share some of the customs and the culture. So they all of a sudden create this thing called whiteness, and they say, now you're part of the club. Now we're going to let you testify in court, enter into contracts, vote, at least if you're a man, own a little bit of land, at least if you're a man, right? And we're going to get rid of indentured servitude. No more of that, because you're too good for that. And we're going to take the white men, now called white men, and put them on the slave patrol to keep black people in line. Give them a horse and a gun and a badge and make them feel big and powerful, right? They're still poor. They still don't have anything. They didn't pay the slave patrol well.
That's where your first police force come from. Okay?
Right? Just exploited them, used them as a buffer between the elite and the other poor folks, particularly poor folks of color. And pretty soon the rebellions that occasionally happened where black and white got together to overthrow the elite, those stopped because the divide and conquer had begun to work. Right? You could turn people against each other by telling those poor white folks, they got to keep these black people in line. And so that divide and conquer gets initiated in the colonies. Rich white men telling not rich white people that their enemies are black and brown. Fast forward to the Civil War era. And you have, I'm from the South, right? My people, the elite in my part of the country, right, actually announced that the reason they wanted to break away from the Union and possibly go to war with their brothers and sisters to the North was in order to maintain slavery and white supremacy. They said that at the time. We lie about it now. And we say it had nothing to do with that. But of course, at the time, they didn't have any shame about it, so they just said it openly. Right? The vice president of the Confederacy, Alexander Stephens, said that the cornerstone of the new government was the great truth that the Negro was not the equal of the white man. So that's the reason the Confederacy was formed and existed. But here's the trick. If I'm rich and I want to go to war to protect my ownership in other human beings, my property, but you're poor and you don't own any enslaved people, why the hell would you go fight to protect my stuff? Because I'm a rich person. I'm not going to fight. Rich people don't go to war, right? Rich people get poor people to go to war for them, whether it's in 1860 or whether it's during the 1960s or whether it's today, right? Rich folks get doctors to write notes for them that say that they have heel spurs and that's why they can't go to Vietnam. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, you can Google that shit because he's sitting in the White House right now, right? Oh, I can't go fight. I have heel spurs. Send some poor kids to do that for me, please. Right? So that's been a long-standing tradition. So the rich have to figure out a way to convince the poor to go fight for them. But that's a hard thing. That's like a hard sell, right? Like, how the hell, why would you do that? Why would you go fight to protect my property rights when you don't own anything? The only way you would do it is if that rich person comes to you and says, hey, listen, you gotta go fight. Because we got to maintain our way of life, because if these people get free, they're going to take your jobs. No, fool, they already got your job. That's how it works, right? Because if I'm white and I got to charge you $1 a day to work on the farm, but you can get a black person to do it for nothing because you own them, guess who got the job? Free got the job, right? So in a sense, poor white folks would have been better off joining with black folks to overthrow the slave system that would have raised the wage floor of all working people. But they got tricked by rich white men telling them that their enemies were black and brown. Fast forward to the 1930s. And you have white labor leaders. They're not even the elite, right? The labor leaders are not the elite, but they're the elite within the labor movement. And even they had fallen for it at this point. So they didn't want to integrate their unions. And they would say things like, well, we can't have black people and Mexicans and Chinese folks in our unions because if we do that, it's going to reduce the professionalism of our craft. We have to maintain the integrity of our profession. No, fool, you need more people in the damn union is what you need. And if you don't let those folks in, guess what happens when you go out on strike? Who is the boss going to use to replace you? They're going to replace you with the very same black and brown folks that you didn't want to work next to, right? And so at the end of the day, and then you're going to blame them for taking your job rather than the white rich dude for giving it to them, right? Divide and conquer. Telling not rich white folks that their enemies are black and brown. And now we fast forward to the president. We got the president of the United States becoming president on the basis of that same rhetoric. So if the data says, and it does, that white folks on average have 15 times the net worth of black folks, 13 times the net worth of Latino folk, right? We just assume, well, we must have worked harder. Is that right? That's interesting because actually the black folks and brown folks have done some of the hardest work in this country ever since the country was founded. Were it not for the labor of African descended peoples, there would be no country at all. In fact, it was my family, white slave-owning family in the South that got black folks to do all the hard work because we were lazy asses and didn't want to work at all. White folks in the South on the plantation used to want to sit on the porch and drink mint juleps and have carriage rides rather than work, while black folks did all the real labor. And yet we decided that black folks are lazy, which I find fascinating. Right? And then people write to me and say, well, these black people, they're just taking all the jobs. Okay, which is it, precious? Because it can't be both. People of color can't take all the jobs and be lazy. I don't ask much of racists because I expect very little, but you cannot be lazy and take all the jobs. Are we at least clear on that? Like if you took all the jobs, you were like the opposite of lazy. If you are indeed lazy, you probably did not even take one job, let alone all of them. So I just need racists to get their damn story straight. That's all I ask. I just don't like moving targets. That's all, right? But if I don't tell my daughter the truth, she defaults to the position of the culture, and then she can't understand what the problem is. The same is true with policing. You can't understand the Black Lives Matter movement and the importance of it if you don't know the history and the relationship between law enforcement and black and brown peoples. If you understood that history, you wouldn't ask one question about why this movement is necessary and why it's righteous. If you knew that history, but you don't know it, and it's not your fault. You weren't supposed to know it, and nobody taught it to you. Right? So you don't have to know that modern policing traces back to slave patrols. That black folks' first experience with law enforcement was having, you know who? Working class and poor white folks on horseback going around keeping black folks in line on behalf of the rich master that owned all the property. That sounds a lot like modern policing because ain't no rich people policing, right? It's working class folks who are out there protecting the property of rich people against the depredations of poor people. That's what modern policing is, and it traces back, and we know that's what modern policing is, by the way, because we will lock you up for 10 years for $100 worth of food stamp fraud, but if you take $12.5 trillion on Wall Street, 20% of the net worth of this country, you will not do 1 day in jail. So we know that law enforcement has got nothing to do with enforcing the law. It's got nothing to do with good people and bad people, lawbreakers and the law abiding. It only has to do with controlling certain people. And black and brown folks know it was cops who were involved in race riots and racial terrorism against black communities for the first 50 years of the 20th century. You didn't learn about that in class either, and that's not your fault. It wasn't taught, but in fact, every single year, just about from 1900 all the way to the 1930s, 1940s at least, there were race riots where white folks would just go into black communities, burn them to the ground, bomb them from the air like in Tulsa, Oklahoma, rip people out of their homes, beat them in the street, and police sat by, watched it happen, and participated. That doesn't mean that every cop in the modern era is like that, but it means that black folks can be excused for being not so clear on the decency of police in their communities because there's a history there. It was police who dragged black folks and white allies off of those sit-in stools at lunch counters in the South to enforce segregation. See, when your job is to enforce the law, and for most of American history the law was against you as a people, then enforcing the law means you are the first line of oppression. People of color know that history and need to be excused when they don't just get over it because that continues. How do we know it continues? Very easy. We know from the data on racial profiling that black folks are twice as likely as white folks to be stopped and searched for drugs, even though white folks are more likely to have drugs on us on the occasions that we're searched. White folks use drugs and sell drugs at the same or higher rate than black folks and Latinos, and yet it is black folks and Latinos who in any given year make up 85 to 90% of the people who get arrested and incarcerated for a drug offense. See, people of color know that. And if we don't understand when black folks rise up and say Black Lives Matter. Well, what do you mean? All lives matter. Yes, sweetheart, I know they do. Yes, they do. And that is a totally irrelevant and unnecessary point to make. You see, you don't have to say all lives matter. We take that for granted. What we've never accepted in this country is that black and brown life matter. You have to proclaim that which is ignored, you see. That's why we have Black History Month right now and not White History Month. We don't have to have the White History Month because we got May and June and July and August. And every other month where we learn about white folks, we don't have to call it that. See how slick that is? That's how white supremacy operates. You don't have to call it White History Month. You just call it history, literature, and theater, and poetry, and art. You don't have to racialize where it came from, right? That's what Malefi Asante at Temple calls universalizing the particular, which is the hallmark of Eurocentric thought. Right? Not everybody's experience is the same. And so when certain people have been left out of all, you have to call that out by name. Because see, we've always said all and we didn't mean it. We said all men are created equal and we didn't mean that shit. Right? We didn't mean women, but we didn't even mean all men. We said all and it was a lie when we said it. Right? And so in a sense, when you say Black Lives Matter, to respond with all lives matter would be like going in a time machine back to 1971. Y'all won't remember this. Those who were students, those who were older will. Around 1970, 71, 72, the big phrase was black is beautiful, right? There was this desire to take back the beauty narrative from a beauty industry, fashion industry, glamour industry that had hijacked it and denigrated black physicality and beauty, right? So folks were saying black is beautiful to reclaim a sense of beauty for themselves. It'd be like getting in a time machine, going back to 1971, hearing somebody say black is beautiful and tapping them on the shoulder and going, but we're all beautiful in our own way. Yes, shut up, we know. Not the point. It'd be like going back to the early 80s when the HIV/AIDS crisis started. And it took several years for the President of the United States to even utter the word. Ronald Reagan didn't want to even utter the word, let alone cut loose with funding to deal with the problem until his buddy Rock Hudson died of it. And then all of a sudden he was willing to talk about it a little bit, right? So for the first several years, what'd you have? You had activists out in the street. You had ACT UP, Gay Men's Health Crisis, out in the street demanding research and funding for HIV/AIDS, right? And what they were saying, in effect, was people with AIDS lives matter. That wasn't the actual phrase, and we didn't have hashtags, but that was essentially what they were saying, right? People with AIDS lives matter, and we need to pay attention because right now we're not paying attention to that. And we don't seem to believe it as a society, so we need to start believing it. It would be like getting in a time machine, going back to 1983, 82, in the middle of an ACT UP event or a Gay Men's Health Crisis event, and shutting down the protest by saying, yeah, but what about pancreatic cancer? People die of all kinds of things, right? Sort of not the point. You have to proclaim that which is ignored. And if we know the history, we understand that, right? Because if we know the history, we know that it is indeed black life, and I would suggest brown life, life of color generally, indigenous life, that is usually denigrated, demeaned, ignored. On a sexual level, it's trans lives that are demeaned, ignored, right? It's women as women. So sometimes you got to proclaim that which is not in the obvious frame of reference. There's nothing pernicious about it. It's not about saying black lives are worth more than other lives. It's about, damn it, these lives actually do matter. And even though the history says they don't, we're here to tell you that they do. And there's nothing wrong about that at all. But if you don't know the history, it might seem untoward. And I get it. And again, it's not your fault that you don't know the history, but it is our responsibility to learn it and then apply it to what we see. Same is true with immigration. This immigration drama that we have right now is only possible because we don't understand our own history. As a country, and particularly those of us of European descent, we have lied to ourselves about how we got here. And for what reason? See, black folks know why they're here. Native peoples know why they're here and how they got here. A lot of Asian folk know, particularly if they're Chinese American, they know they got here because their ancestors were brought over to work on the railroads by the railroad barons who didn't care if thousands of them died laying track 19, 20 hours a day. But for those of us who are from Europe, we have this fiction that we've told, and we believe it, even though there's no truth to it. You know what the fiction is? It's two parts. Number one, we say things like, with regard to Mexicans coming over the border, with regard to immigrants coming over, but only that border. That's the only one we care about, right? The southern border. I find that interesting. We're not flipping out about Canada, right? We don't have any of the Minutemen or the anti-immigrant groups sitting off the coast of Nova Scotia with a gun and a scope trying to like pick off the sneaky Canadians that are trying to sneak in here for our superior healthcare system. which after all would be a pretty stupid thing to do. But in any event, we only care about that one border, forgetting for a minute that that border was created at the end of a war that was started on false pretense by this country, after which we jacked half of their country. And you weren't taught that in school either, because our history books aren't interested in telling the truth. They tell this very patriotic history that has no relationship to the fact. So that border is artificial. Mexican folk who are coming here, documented or not, let's be clear, are coming home. Their families were here before our families were here in almost every instance. But we forget that, and then we say things like, well, I don't mind them coming. I just want them to come legally like my people did. The hell does that even mean? Come legally? There was no law to break when our people came. The fact that we didn't break a law that didn't even exist, you don't get cookies for that. You don't get like a pat on the back and a gold star because your great whatever was law abiding when there was no law that he could have violated, even if he wanted to. But we've told this lie that we came for these upstanding principles. So we'll say things like, well, you know, our people came for liberty and freedom, democracy. These people are just coming for stuff. They're just coming for jobs. They're just coming for healthcare. They're just coming for stuff. We came for high-minded principle, right? Because we believe that. What kind of third-grade version of American history is that, right? Like when Donald Trump says, well, Mexico's not sending their best. What the hell? You think Europe sent their best? Europe? No, our people were the losers of Europe. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm just telling you the truth. Like, our people were the losers of Europe. The winners didn't get on the boat. You understand what I'm saying? The winners didn't leave. Why the hell would you leave if you were winning? Only the losers left because they had no choice. They were dying. They were starving. They couldn't support their families. A lot of them were convicts who were sold into indentured servitude to work for rich European people. They were barely above the level of a slave themselves. The idea that we had these we didn't believe in liberty and freedom, and we know that because once we got to the colonies, we set up the opposite of liberty and freedom. And I don't just mean that for like black folks and native folks. I mean even for other white folks. Like, we spent most of the time in the early colonies trying to figure out who the witch was. Right? It was like, well, you're not a Christian. Well, no, you're not a Christian. Well, no, you're not a Christian. I'm going to hang you from a tree. Really? Well, I'm going to drown you in the stream. Well, I'm going to set you on fire. Like, that wasn't liberty. The colonies were some of the least free places in the history of the cosmos. But we act like we came for liberty, and they're just here to take advantage. Let's be clear. Our people didn't come for liberty. They came for stuff.
Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. I'm back, y'all. Yeah, a lot of stuff they was saying was is so true. Especially with the that white and black thing. White and black. Like this shirt I got on. It's black. That's my color right there, brown. You see, but these elites, they created that narrative. That paradigm. It's a social construct. Which was created back in 1681 in Bacon's Rebellion, and it's been playing out ever since. These devils, these people hate us, man. They hate. And then another thing, what they do is they'll find an ignorant ass nigga and have them to force they policy, and offer them a good pay, probably get them 6 figures. Tell them to keep it down on the down low, hush hush. But then yet they want the so-called black folks to push their fucking narrative. This shit been going on ever since 1681. All right. So right now, the thing is they got the Senate and the Congress and all them niggas in there, house niggas, sellout ass niggas. And they bend a knee to the goddamn the enemy, man. That's controlling every fucking thing. But hey, we come to this time right now where the Lord finna have all the poor the wicked, the poor of the wicked, 2/3 of our people that join unto these wicked and the wicked, poor people, so-called white folks and black folks and all other colors, Arabs, they all gonna come up against this man. This is what's finna get to go down, you see? Hey, and then the reason, and another thing is, the reason why they got the power, that's so much power that they got was called the Lord gave it to them. Matter of fact, let's start right here. I forgot to bring that scripture. Let's start right here with, let's start at Job chapter 9, verse 24. We'll get Job chapter 9, verse 24. Let's get that. Job chapter 9. Oh. Job chapter 9, verses 24. I'm gonna start at 23. And it reads, it says, the earth is giving it, matter of fact, oh shit, there go my butt. God damn. Hey, stop, hey. Go my butt. Hey! All right, my man. Okay, my man. Oh shit. My fault. Hey, good looking out, brother. All right, my man. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Hey, while I'm doing this walk and talk, I got you in my prayer, man. Tell the Lord gonna look out for you. Thank you, bro. All right. Yeah. So, like I was saying, it was Bacon Rebellion when all this stuff was started. All right. Okay, man, good. I had no running. Man, he looked out for me. So let's continue with the lesson. All right. Sit that back there. All right. Okay, let's go into it. So Job chapter 9, verses 20. We're gonna start at 23. It said, if the scourge slay suddenly, he will laugh at the trial of the innocent. Okay, so this verse here is saying when a plague sweep through, he laughs at the death of the innocent. See, hey, this is how the man get down, man. Hey, he's the wicked. Shit. Verse 24, it said the earth, say what? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right. He covered the faces of the judges thereof, if not, and where and who is it? See. So if this man, after all what this man was telling on his own counterpart, then who is it? You got a lot of our so-called people, man. They house niggas were sold out, man. They put a bag. They don't care nothing about their fellow brother, sister, or brother, man. They took that bag to oppress the poor, and that's a sin, man. To oppress your own people, your own. But man, a lot of you niggas gonna say, man, I don't give a fuck. That's the spirit that these niggas in, so they gonna have to learn the hard way. That's death by pain, Jack. And it's coming real soon. The Lord gonna put them out of their misery, man. They're gonna come by death by pain, man. Sirach chapter 9, verse 12. Alright. 11. Okay, let's keep going. Let me see where we stopped at. Hold on, y'all. Let me do this real quick. I should have bought this scripture from the top. suffering of deep questioning. It reflects frustration regarding injustice, regarding injustice seen within the world. Job speaks poetically while wrestling with human suffering realities. All right, the tone is emotional, reflective, and filled with anguish. It addresses perception, the judgment, and the earthly power structure. Job chapter 9, verse 23, 24, and read, if the scourge slay suddenly, he will laugh at the trial of the innocent. Amen. That dude was sharing with y'all what these people have done to us. You got a lot of these so-called beggars. They saying, why come the black folks ain't out here protesting with us? Oh man, what we gonna protest for? For what? Shit. Man, we tired of this nigga ruling over us, man. So that's why, you know, the Lord wants us to, the Lord is sending prophets out, man, to wake his people up, man, to have them come out of this fucking matrix. And if they don't come out, you know, the Lord always sent a prophet before he destroyed this place, man. But every kingdom that was came before America, America coming up on 250 years. So it's on its last leg. The Lord can really destroy this place. It's coming up on 250 years. Every kingdom lasts 250 years. So what makes you think America is greater than the rest of these nations? No, America's on the Lord's hit list, man. He's on the Lord's radar. And all the wicked of America that's joined up to the heathen, man, they ain't gonna die by the sword, man. This is what's coming. Real soon. My brother Bunyan Yasharala, Shalom, brother. He sold Russia got a new missile, one of the biggest ICBM missiles ever built. That's the Lord's weapon of war. And it's gonna be aimed targeted for the West. For the West, America gonna get it. So and then you know you're gonna have China gonna join in. You're gonna have all these Arab nations, Iran. They gonna come up against this place, man. This place gonna build a lake of fire, man. That's what's coming, man, within the next year or two. I don't think we're gonna get out 2030, man. While they trying to set up this beast system, this new beast system, digital, you know, yeah, King Charles talking about, well, we going digital, and then he was laying out the rules of this thing, you know, the rules of engagement with this digital thing that they trying to what it is, they trying to maintain power. Hey, I should have brought my secret covenant paper so I could read them. All right, let's keep going. So Job described the world being controlled by unjust power. That's right. This verse reflects human observation during intense suffering and confusion. It expresses frustration over corruption and oppressed innocence visibly. The statement is poetic lament rather than doctrinal conclusion alone. All right. It says Job wrestled with understanding Yahweh's justice amid worldly disorder. See, the reason why we in this situation because we violated the Lord's law. We worship Baal. We went and made a statue. And to this day, we worshiping Baal. Fake white man Jesus is coming in the image of Baal. Okay? And then they put a fake white man up there in the church and got our people, man, in the matrix, man, and pushing the slave doctrine and teaching these old wicked ass niggas to send that shit at our people, man. They ain't telling our people that these people is Israelites from the northern and southern kingdom, the Hispanics and the native out from the northern kingdom. The church ain't teaching them that. Them pastors, a lot of them niggas know. They ain't gonna teach you that. They good old tap dancing ass niggas, man. I don't have no respect for these niggas, man. You don't see me in no motherfucking church. Man, but yet our people still going around them Harlan house. Going in there, kissing ass, sucking up to these devils, man. This nigga hates you, man. Jake, this man hates you, man. The Bible said this man hates you, and the Bible ain't gonna lie. This man gonna show y'all real soon. We've been telling you. Y'all don't believe us, but y'all come up for telling y'all the truth. The Lord sent us out here to tell y'all, man, what this man doing. So y'all gonna learn the hard way. What's going on, brother?
What's going on?
So yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. But let's keep going with the lesson. Let me put this camera on me. I'm on the camera. Even though they're gonna have surveillance every motherfucking well. You know? Let's keep going. The Lord gonna destroy them niggas, man, cause they don't made the sheep go astray, man. A lot of people don't even believe in the Bible no more because of what they were taught. But see, if they come on in my court, man, I got them. They're gonna say, man, goddamn, man, where you getting all this from? It's right here in the book. It's right there in the book. You just got to get the other books to find to connect the dots. You know, the Lord, this devil, he left the history and he always tell off on himself, man. Esau always tell off. Look at Donald Trump. Telling off on himself. Because he's the wicked. All them mega motherfuckers, they part of that goddamn clan. Them motherfuckers hate people of color, man. So the Lord, and he trying to find a way to save his kingdom. His kingdom is falling, man. The Lord finna destroy this place. It ain't finna come up, man. The best thing for you so-called black folks to do is repent, man, and come on in this arena of the Lord's court, man. Stop calling on fake white man Jesus. The Lord's name is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahweh Shai. We say Yahweh Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Ba Hashem means coming in the name of, in that order. Oh yeah, let's get another precept. Y'all got it. I got excited. Let's get matter of fact, I want to read some of this synopsis. And then we're gonna come on back to the scripture. I already got everything lined up. All right. It said, before nations formed, two brothers struggled within Rebekah's womb. Yahweh revealed two manner of nations. So two manner of nations. Jacob and Esau. Jacob is the Israelite, and Esau is the goddamn white man, so-called white man. You take care, brother. The devil that the Bible speaks of. All right. It says Yahweh. It says Yahweh revealed two manner of nation would emerge afterward therefrom. From Jacob represents covenant inheritance, see, and spiritual promises, and righteous continuation. See, all right. It says, Jacob represents the covenant inheritance, spiritual promises, and righteous continuation eternally. Esau represents fleshly appetites, worldly power, and carnal dominion continually. Isaac favored Esau because hunting satisfied his earthly desires regularly. Rebekah favored Jacob because prophecy guided her spiritually, her spiritual understanding continually. All right. It says the elder brother despised sacred birthright. See. All right. That white boy that was ranting. And he told off on their ass, see? He told, gave it up. Lord put on his spirit to tell the truth. All right, let's keep going. It said, so Jacob represent, with Jacob, which is the Negro, the Latino, and the Native Americans, along with these speckled birds. The speckled birds are the people that look like the other nation. But you follow me or you? How you doing, sister? All right. So it said Jacob represent covenant inheritance, spiritual promises, and righteous continuation eternally. All right. Esau represent fleshy appetites and worldly powers and carnal dominion. See, continually, it said Isaac favored Esau because hunting satisfied his earthly desires regularly. Rebekah favored Jacob because prophecy guided her spiritual understanding continually. See, all right. It said the elder brother despised. It said despised sacred birthright, birthright for temporary satisfaction. It said completely. It said Esau enhanced. Esau, man, listen, I'm moving too fast, man. I'm getting too excited. Let me slow down. Let me breathe a couple times. All right, let's go back. It said the elder brother despised sacred birthright for temporary satisfaction. Completely. Esau exchanged future blessing for immediate hunger and gratification foolishly. All right. That decision revealed deeper rebellion dwelling inside Edom's future descendants. See, all right, and that's what you get today. All right, it said the decision revealed deeper rebellion dwelling inside Edom's future descendants. See, they're the wicked that the Bible speaks of. Okay, they are the cursed. They the cursed seed. They are the wicked seed. You know, you got good and the evil. They are the evil seed. All right, let's keep going. It said that decision revealed deeper rebellion dwelling inside Edom's future descendants. It said scripture preserved these events for understanding prophecies and history today. That's right. So yeah, the Lord, and then, you know, right now, our people, they join unto this man. Instead of them coming out of the matrix, they join unto this man, and helping to further the oppression, the affliction of the Israelites, man. All right. Let's go to paragraph 2. It said Esau became associated with the wilderness living. All right. It said violence and bloodshed continually. All right. His descendants inhabited Mount Seir and surrounding rugged territories afterwards. The Edomites developed nations opposing. It said the Edomites developed nations opposing Israel throughout many biblical generations. Prophecies repeatedly condemned Edom for pride and cruelty and betrayal. Continually. They trusted military strength like they do today. You know the reason why they trusted their military strength? Because the Lord was with them on the left-hand side, man. You know, the Lord used Esau, you know, to bring his pain, the Lord's pain. That's the only reason why he was using because we had sinned. We sinned against the Lord, so we had to pay for what we had did. Man, this nigga here, man. I don't know here, man. So yeah, so that's what happened. All right, it says the Edomite developed a nation opposing Israel throughout many biblical generations. Prophecy repeatedly condemned Edom for pride, cruelty, and betrayal continually, see? It said they trusted military strength, fortified cities, and earthly alliances completely, see? All right? It said they trusted military fortified cities and military strength and fortified cities and earthly alliances completely. Their confidence blinded them from alliances completely. Their confidence blinded them from approaching divine judgment and destruction afterwards, see? Obadiah warned Edom regarding violence against Jacob during calamity, see, repeatedly. And this is what this man been doing, man. All right? It said Edom celebrated, let's see where we stopped at. It said Edom celebrated Jerusalem suffering while strangers invaded and plundered mercilessly. Yahweh declared proud human arrogance continually produces oppression, corruption, and eventual national humiliation universally. So many people today question ancestry, identity, and historical origins. All right, deeply. It said deeply scriptures. Let me see where we stopped at. I'm trying to walk. You know, y'all bear with me, man. I'm trying to. I don't want to get ran over. I watched the other brother video the other night, and how that man got ran over, man. Just that second he got ran over, right? Okay, you see, it said Jacob and Esau descendants from Isaac through Abraham's covenant lineage originally. Their conflict symbolizes spiritual warfare between flesh and righteousness, see? Continually. It says some students connect Edom with later oppressive ruling systems historically worldwide. It said others debate those conclusions using theology and archaeology and historical analysis intensively. It said understanding prophecy requires patient wisdom and careful spiritual comparison continually. It said false doctrines flourish wherever emotions replace discipline, biblical examination completely. All right. It said discernment practice. Discernment protects believers from deception, manipulation, and misleading. It said misleading interpretations continually. It said truth remains consistent because righteousness originates through divine internal principles. It said history revealed History revealed empire rising through conquest, slavery, and economic exploitation repeatedly, all right? And here we are today. It said powerful rulers enriched themselves while laborers suffering burdensome oppression continually worldwide. It said many societies justify injustice through tradition and propaganda, and political manipulation strategically. It said the prophets condemn merchant profiting through violence and dishonest balance continually. It said poor communities frequently became tools serving ambition, wealthy, governing elites intentionally. All right. It said fear divided population otherwise capable of resisting systemic exploitation together collectively. Okay, the speech discusses racial conflict, class struggle, and manipulated societal division. All right. It said many historians examine these patterns throughout colonial and modern historical developments. All right, biblical prophecy describe kingdoms deceiving nations through sorcery and merchandise intensively. It said discernment requires examining history alongside scripture and spiritual understanding carefully. All right. It said during the colonial times, wealthy elites feared unified laboring population greatly. Afterwards, it said enslaved Africans. It weren't African Hebrew Israelites. No, it wasn't African. We fled to Africa from Jerusalem, the diaspora. All right. You know, when you look at one of them 1600 maps, on those maps gonna have Judah, the land of Judah, right there in Ghana, in the diaspora. All right. Damn, I can't think of the name. It's the Kingdom of Judah. That's what it said. All right. And it was called Negro land. All right. So let's keep going. It said rulers understood united poor communities threaten existing economic systems seriously nationwide. See what's going on, little brother? All right. It said therefore division formed, separating people through race, privilege, and legal distinctions. The concept called whiteness gradually emerged through colonial legal structures strategically. All right. It says poor Europeans receive limited privileges unavailable toward enslaved African population historically. All right. It said authority placed poor white men within a patrol system controlling slaves afterwards. So that arrangement created division between struggling communities sharing similar hardship economically. All right. It said rebellion weakened because distrust, misplaced solidarity among oppressed population continually nationwide. Divide and conquer became powerful political strategies throughout future generations afterward. Okay, we're gonna start right there. We're gonna get some scriptures. All right. So this is what we've been going through for 500 years. All right, now our time is up. We had to drink of that cup, man. Matter of fact, hold on here. Hold on here. Let me do this. Cup of trembling. Let's start at get Psalm chapter 16 verses 5. It said Yahweh is the portion. It said Yahweh is the portion of my inheritance and of my cup. Thou manifest my lot. See, the Lord, hey, we had to drink of that cup, man. Man, the Lord sent us into slavery, man. Deuteronomy chapter 6, 28, 64. We had to drink it. He put our ass on them slave ships, man. And you know, them motherfuckers kidnapped us from the kingdom of Judah, the Judah land over there in the Ghana. You see? And man, we've been fucked up ever since. But you got them old pastor pork chop, now they ain't gonna tell these people who they are, man. That's why the Lord is sending men out here, man. He raising men up to bring forth his word, man. And not to sugarcoat his word, man. Come with that heat. And our people don't want to hear that, man. So they're gonna see that fire. Shit. It's gonna be too late then. When we get beamed up into them chariots, then you gonna know who was trying to help y'all ass, man. Shit. I think I might have enough. They get 5 of these bad boys. All right. I want to go to the lake, but man, they gonna set that camera up down there by Whole Foods. I ain't worked that area in a while. Go down there by Whole Foods and get it in. Let's go get it in. What's going on, sister? They don't like me because I'm very outspoken, man. I'm covered with that heat, man. What's up, brother? Shalom, man. Shalom. I'm covered with that heat, man. with this Bible, man. I'm covered with the heat. I got the prophecy. What's going on, little Israelite? How you doing, sister?
Good, how you doing?
All right.
Are you getting in there too?
Yeah, I'm going on the other side. I'm getting the cover. Thank you. May your house by Shem, your house shall be with you and your son. All right. I like these right here. Y'all bear with me. I'm gonna pause this for a second. I'm back, y'all. Let's keep going. Let's continue the lesson. So, let's get hold on, y'all, bear with me here. All right, here we go. So yeah, man, we at that time now, man. The Lord can really say Russian man they got the biggest ICBM. Oh, we got the biggest ICBM, boy. And that's one of the Lord's missiles he gonna use. You know, he created the Smith. So them the Lord's weapon, man. They ain't did nothing. The Lord made them weapons, okay? All right, let's keep going. Hold on, y'all, bear with me here. Man, come on, man. Let's start right here. Psalm chapter 137, verse 7, and it reads. It said, so Psalm chapter 137, verse 7 is saying, the psalm reflects Israel lament. Israel, which consists not them fake Jews, I'm talking about the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Lament during captivity. See, that's right now talking about now. This is what we should be doing, lamenting. Captivity and exile. It records emotional memory tied to Jerusalem's suffering and loss. All right. It said this verse focuses on remembrance of judgment and of past destruction. All right. It expresses a plea for divine justice against the oppressors. The tone is grief and not instruction for personal action. All right. And hey, that's what's going on now. You see? Let's get it. Say, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. See? So this was around 7 AD when they came in and ramsacked Jerusalem, man. They killed some millions and millions of people, man, in that thing, man. All right. And then you got the people that's in these churches and shit. That's what they pushing. The law is done away with. Man, ain't no motherfucking law done away with for the Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. They said that just to hide their crime. And Edom ain't done away with neither. This is why everything is happening the way it is right now. Cause right now we at the end of this man rule on the earth. It's called the end of the eon, the end of an age, the end of an aeon. See, the Lord set this nigga up, man. Okay, the Lord set this man up to be the hammer of the earth. So that shit done went to his head, and he driven by pride. Okay, I'm proud to be American. Shit like that, man. All right, let's keep going. It said the psalm reflects sorrow and calls for divine remembrance. See, the Lord is calling us to divine remembrance, man. And how that started? By sending the man, his prophets out to wake his people up, to feed his people, man, whether they hear or forbear. All right? That's how we getting the blood off our hand. All right? Hey, if you think I'm lying, go back in the church and hear that bullshit. I'm telling you the truth. We got receipts. All right? It said the psalm reflects sorrow and calls for divine remembrance. It is descriptive of past events and not a present command. I think he's wrong on this one. Yeah, right now they sing this same melody, cause they don't think the Lord gonna touch them, man. The Lord can reach out and touch this man, man. All right. The stage, as I'm prophesying, the stage is being set for them motherfucking arrows to be shot. Them missiles, them ICBM missiles, man. It says it is descriptive of past events, not a present command. All right. The focus is accountability placed on in Yahweh's judgment alone. See. Let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verses 8. It said, Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 8. And it reads, it said, I will hold my tongue no more touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood cry unto me. See? So our people, all them innocent people that they killed, man, they crying out to the Lord. Lord, how long you gonna let this man, allow this man to do what he's doing? All right? So both texts emphasize the divine awareness of injustice. Judgment is consistently placed in the hand of the Most High. It said human emotions is recorded and not, it said, and not meant to for retaliation. All right. It said the scriptures highlight accountability rather than personal vengeance. Righteous order is ultimately governed by Yahweh. Okay, let's go and walk on across here. All right. It says, so both texts emphasize divine awareness of injustice. Judgment is consistently placed in the hands of the Most High. Human emotion is recorded, but not meant for retaliation. Scriptures highlight accountability rather than personal vengeance. Righteous order is ultimately governed by Yahweh. See? All right. So it says. So both texts emphasizes divine awareness of injustice. It said judgment is consistently placed in the hand of the Most High. Human emotions is recorded, but not meant for retaliation, okay? So the Lord don't want us to retaliate on these people until He raised us up, man. Then we're gonna be able to retaliate. But until then, man, we got to sit still and watch the hand of the Lord. That's I think that's Exodus 20. I want to think. I think it's Exodus 20. We'll find. I want to stay on course. It's one of the verses that the Lord, like when Moses got to the sea, the Red Sea, and he had to pray to the Lord. He went off and prayed to the Lord. What you want me to do? And the Lord used that staff he had in his hand, and told him to open the sea up, lift the staff up, and part the sea. And that's what happened. The Lord parted the sea, the Red Sea, for our people to cross over, man. And you still had those wicked ass Israelites, man, still coming up against the Lord, talking about Moses and Aaron them got us fucked up out here. We would have been better off in Egypt. Hey, that's how they is today. The same spirit. They right here today doing the same old bullshit. You see? All right. Yeah, we're gonna go down here. Let me see here. Y'all bear with me here. Yeah, man, I was, yesterday the other day, I went out trying to make this appointment for get the eyeglasses, and I said I'm gonna do me a lesson. So when I got out to one part of the area where I was going to, and man, this motherfucking black bitch, I'm gonna call it, that's what I'm gonna call her ass. Fucking no good, man. That bitch gonna call the law on me. And I ain't even did nothing to that bitch. Cause she worked there, that's my point. Cause I'm bringing out the prophecy, man. She gonna come at me all fucked up. So man, you shouldn't be out. I said, listen, you mind your own business. and leave me the fuck alone, cause I ain't saying nothing to you. And see, that's Esau had them gave theirs a little status, but right now he's revoking that. He's taking it from them. That's why they ass is crying out all on TikTok. And Isaiah 4, hey, the elder apostle said, he called it. He said, man, that Isaiah 4:1 gonna kick in on this side. You know, man, listen, I don't even want none of these old fucked up ass women, man, all fucked up. They disturbed, they mentally deranged, all fucked up, man. I'm gonna wait on the Lord. I'll wait. I ain't trying to save none, I ain't trying to be no captain, save a hoe. And that's what they done turned to, all these motherfucking women, they done turned to hoes. They gonna get worse than that. They run around wearing all this old tight ass shit. And they ain't gonna be rappers real soon here wearing all that shit where they motherfuckers see your pussy print. And they think that shit cool. They learn that shit from these goddamn Edomite women, man, wearing all that old tight ass shit. And they pick that shit up. They learn that shit. They learn that shit from these wicked ass Edomites, man. Women, you know. What that lady named? Gloria Steiner, Edomite. Okay. Yeah, that's where they got it from. Hey, the Lord finna no, go ahead, come on. The Lord finna ready to rebuke they status, man. Okay. Ain't nothing. That's what's going on now, man. He's that liberty to guide abroad, to guide abroad. Oh, the Lord finna revoke it. We're going back into the old ways of doing things, man. According to what was written in that book, man. They call themselves Christian nationalist white wing, but they don't even read the Bible, man. They don't even know. Because if they did, they'll know that they the motherfucking wicked seed. They'll know that they the council of the goddamn earth right now. You see? And then we, you know, that time where they would threaten us, you know, and hanging us on for speaking the truth. Like they did, what's his name? What's that brother's name? Nat Turner. Okay? They ain't gonna be able to do that. They gonna have one more time that's Jacob trouble, but after that, it's a wrap. The Lord gonna allow them to get at the 2/3. But after that, then they gonna be plundered. They ain't gonna be plundered, man. That's right. And all them rich motherfuckers think they gonna hide in them goddamn bunkers. Man, listen, the Lord gonna raise his men up and we gonna go down in them bunkers. Man, we gonna have spiritual power, man. Ain't none of this shit that they making and creating right now gonna save them, man. They think they AI gonna save them, man. The Lord gonna give us them spirits, man. Give us them new bodies, man. We gonna be able to burn, we gonna be able to look at their ass and burn their ass up. I hope you got a good picture, sister. Hey, come on back, I got you. Come on down here, I'm gonna get it in right down here. You see? Yeah. She taking a picture of me. What you gonna go get to your bishop? To show you how wicked these motherfuckers is. They wicked as fuck, man. Alright, I'm gonna say it right here. Wicked ass motherfucking women, man. Ain't got no motherfucking understanding whatsoever, man. Fix it, man. that's a little boy, girl.
Girl.
Hey again, hey again. Can I rub her?
She's
bite?
50-50 about
Oh, she picked.
being
I
scared
can't
or
get
not.
it. She want me to rub her. Look at her. She want me to rub her. She know why she let me rub her the last time. It's like, okay. All right, let's get it. Girl, boy. All right. Damn, did I bring my other, shit. Might be short one. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. Might have been joked on. Ancient of days. There we go. Uh-oh. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. All right.